The Seattle Seahawks and Dallas Cowboys are set to do battle in Week 3 in what could be a deciding factor for two fringe playoff contenders, or just another Week 3 game for pretenders not yet discovered. Both narrowly missed the playoffs in 2017. One overhauled nearly the whole operation outside of their head coach, quarterback and general manager, the Seahawks, and the other stood pat and chose to make additions and subtractions on the margins to fix their lack of playoff situation, the Cowboys. So far, one team is having much greater success. After starting on the road and failing, the Cowboys took advantage of some home cooking and a frail New York Giants team to even their record at 1-1. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are looking to take advantage of their first home game this week but took two good punch losses on the road to get here. Now, their season hangs in the balance for their home opener as they sit at 0-2. Only one problem for the Seahawks, or lucky break for the Cowboys, depending on your fan perspective. The Cowboys seem to be the much healthier team. Although they lost their all-pro starting center prior to the season, they have precious few injuries heading into this matchup outside of that loss. On the other side, the Seahawks keep taking injury L's. They just won't stop. The latest comes with starting left guard Ethan Pochik spotted in a walking boot at practice on Wednesday. And there's more where that came from. Here's where the Seahawks and Cowboys stand injury-wise heading into their Week 3 matchup, along with brief analysis on the injury. Wednesday, did not practice. Thursday, did not practice. Friday, did not practice. Game status, out. Analysis, Collins remains day-to-day with a knee injury suffered during the Week 2 win against the New York Giants. It's unclear if the defensive tackle will be able to play on Sunday versus the Seahawks, but he's not starting of the week in promising fashion. Still, the Cowboys were hopeful he'd be ready on Sunday. But he never made it back to practice and thus won't play. Luckily, their other injured defensive lineman did make it through the practice week. Wednesday, did not practice. Thursday, did not practice. Friday, did not practice. Game status, out. Analysis, Frederick was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease, Guillain-Barré syndrome. The disease causes your immune system to attack your nerves and can eventually cause the body to lock up. The Cowboys have not placed Frederick on injured reserve, which gives some hope that he'll return this season. But thus far, he's not been able to practice and there's no real timetable on his return. Wednesday, did not practice. Thursday, limited. Friday, limited. Game status, questionable. Analysis, Shanley's on again, off again. Relationship with the injury report appears to be on again. Leaving Sunday night's win over the Giants with cramps, he may have a lingering hamstring or thigh issue and thus was held out of practice on Wednesday. This seems more precautionary than anything. Don't expect Lee to miss Sunday's game as of yet. Wednesday, limited. Thursday, limited. Friday, limited. Game status, questionable. Analysis, Xavier Woods of the New Day finally returned to practice this week after missing every practice of the first 2 weeks with his hamstring injury. He also missed the first 2 games on the schedule. Returning limited is a good sign that the Cowboys' safety may be able to give it a go in Week 3. Releasing a safety on Tuesday was an even better sign. The signs are trending in the right direction for Woods. Wednesday, N.A.A. Thursday, limited. Friday, limited. Game status, questionable. Analysis, Beasley's one of the Cowboys' most reliable pass catchers, and so to see him on the report with a new injury on Thursday is a bit concerning. Less concerning since he was able to practice a bit on Thursday. On the other hand, that could be due to leaving the practice after suffering the ankle injury. Midweek injuries are always tough to figure out. In terms of sheer numbers, the Cowboys have receivers to fill in. But who can boast the reliability of Beasley? For now, it looks more likely than not he'll play since he went limited again on Friday. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, Frazier continues to be listed on the injury report with a shoulder injury, also suffered during the preseason, but he continues to fight his way through it and play through the ailment. Expect Week 3 to be no different, as evidenced by the fact he participated in full on Wednesday. His game status is not in jeopardy as it wasn't in jeopardy in Week 2. He'll be ready to go Wednesday, full Thursday, full Friday, full game status, will play analysis. Bad news for the Seattle Seahawks and their offensive line. Gregory has cleared out of the concussion protocol and officially returned to full practice. He didn't go on Sunday versus the Giants due to the concussion, but he was able to practice in limited capacity to end last week. Now, he returns in full, only further showing he'll be ready to dance again versus the Seahawks Wednesday, full Thursday, full Friday, full game status, will play analysis. Even if Collins is unavailable for Sunday, the Cowboys are getting healthier at defensive tackle by getting Jones back to start. He missed the first 2 games with a knee injury from the preseason, but finally returns to full participation on Wednesday. He practiced in a limited capacity to close out last week but still didn't play versus the Giants. Now, with another week under his belt to heal, he's ready to make his 2018 debut on Sunday, Wednesday, full Thursday, full Friday, full game status, will play analysis. Jones and Collins backup Ross appears on the injury report with a new wrist injury. Still, he was able to practice on Wednesday, which means he'll be able to play on Sunday versus the Seahawks. Ross didn't appear to suffer an injury on Sunday night, so it's likely just a small ailment discovered during the downtime or prior to Wednesday's practice. In any event, he's ready to go now. Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, did not practice game status. Out analysis, the Seahawks still refuse to give a timetable on Doug Baldwin's return, which generally means the timetable is a good while away. Head coach Pete Carroll offered up a somewhat bland update this week that stated Baldwin felt good over the weekend and he's doing everything he can to get back. But don't expect him to get back in Week 3. His MCL sprain, or partial tear depending on who you believe, will keep him out at least another week it seems, but likely even longer. Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, did not practice game status. Out analysis, Carroll pulled a fast one on the media Wednesday or the injury occurred sometime between his press conference and the afternoon portion of practice. Whatever the case, Pocic was seen in a walking boot on Wednesday for an apparent ankle injury. As Carroll didn't know or didn't reveal the injury during his press conference, there's no way to know how bad the injury is. But we at least know for sure now he's not playing in Week 3. J.R. Sweezy will play in place since DJ Fluker will return to his post at right guard. Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, did not practice game status. Out analysis, Carroll sounded optimistic that Wright could come back this week as late as Tuesday morning, but as of Wednesday afternoon, Carroll tapered those expectations right back down and informed he wouldn't practice on Wednesday. He didn't, and it's apparent his knee scope injury from preseason Week 4 may cause him to need more time. Considering the Seahawks have Michael Kendricks another week, it's all good for now that he can't go. Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, did not practice game status. Questionable analysis, the Seahawks aren't just down their starting left guard in Pocic, their starting center in Justin Britt is also hurt. Hooray for them. The much-maligned offensive line is taking on water in their continuity boat like crazy at this point. Britt hurt his shoulder trying to recover a Russell Wilson fumble in the fourth quarter of their 24-17 road loss to the Chicago Bears. All he came away with is what Carroll termed a sore shoulder. He's listed as day-to-day by Carroll, but former backup quarterback Jay Keeps says the injury will keep Britt out weeks. Surprisingly enough, Britt appears to be on the game-time decision trail. Considering Pocic is already out, he may be trying to gut through for his teammates. Wednesday, NAA Thursday, limited Friday, limited game status, questionable analysis. Suddenly Michael Kendricks lands on the injury report with an ankle injury that either occurred during Wednesday or Thursday's practice. With Wright looking likely to be out for a third week, Kendricks being able to go is of the utmost urgency, or they'll have to turn to either Austin Calitro or Shaquem Griffin. Carroll didn't seem too worried about Kendricks' chances of playing in Week 3 when he spoke on the radio Friday morning. Expect him to play. Wednesday, did not practice. Thursday, full. Friday, did not practice. Game status, will play, questionable according to Pete Carroll. Analysis, Earl Thomas played all but 10 snaps in Week 1. He played all but 1 snap in Week 2. He's healthy and ready to go after missing the entire preseason due to a holdout. But the Seahawks are still being cautious with him on Wednesdays to make sure he's right for game days. Then, straight confusion occurred on Friday when Earl Thomas was physically at practice without an injury but did not practice. Carroll refused to reveal why and stated it was because of a personal matter. Carroll wouldn't even confirm if he'd play or not. Wednesday, did not practice. Thursday, limited. Friday, limited. Game status, will play. Analysis, surprising to see Dion Jordan on the injury report without his thrice-repaired knee being listed as an issue. He's been on the injury report every week with that knee ailment, whether he practices or not. He has missed a practice since the season started, so or not has really applied yet. He's slowly working himself back into football shape after missing the entire preseason. After playing 15 snaps in Week 1, he played 1 less snap in Week 2. He finally gets a day off to make sure he can play longer in Week 3. Wednesday, NAA. Thursday, did not practice. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, there's really no way to know what kind of illness Fant had, but the good news is whatever it was, it didn't keep him down for Sunday's game. With the Seahawks already down linemen with Britt and Pochik not practicing, having Fant absent wasn't optimal and wouldn't have been optimal on Sunday. He's the team's only true backup offensive tackle and he backups both spots as a result. But he's ready to go and thus the scare is over. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, finally some good injury news for the Seahawks. After not practicing all last week, Bobby Wagner has returned to practice this week. He had a slight groin issue that flared up following the Week 1 loss in Denver. What he thought was a cramp was actually an injury that kept him out of Week 2 action. Austin Calitro filled into his shoes admirably, but it looks like he won't be needed in Week 3. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, don't freak out Seahawks fans, but the guy who's been sacked 12 times has a hamstring injury now. Clearly, he's fine since he practiced fully on Wednesday, but being less healthy is never a good thing. Carroll didn't mention a hamstring injury on Wednesday and Wilson never appeared hurt during the game. It's likely something that showed up after the lights went out Monday night and he hit the training room Wednesday morning. It shouldn't be anything major to concern yourself with. Wilson confirmed on Thursday he was fine and it's just a matter of the team needing to put every little thing on the injury report. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, the Seahawks backup safety has returned to practice after missing every practice last week and causing the team to have to bring up Shalom Luani in his place. That move caused them to release Tom Johnson, who then resigned the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Hill's back to practicing and will likely resume his special teams role and backup duty to Bradley McDougald, who has been lights out this year. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, Flowers is another player who didn't play in Week 2 following the late reveal of a hamstring injury from the Broncos' loss. Like Wagner, he thought he had a cramp, but the injury turned out to be a small hamstring issue. Is now recovered and back to practice and ready to take his starting job back from Akeem King, who did decently on Monday. Finally, a starting cornerback gets healthy for the Seahawks. Wednesday, full. Thursday, full. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, Fluker suited up for his first regular season practice on Wednesday. He suffered a hamstring injury coming out of the preseason Week 3 loss to the Minnesota Vikings and hasn't practiced since. Naturally, he's missed both games as well. His return comes just in time with the Seahawks having 2 offensive line starters likely not to go this week. Meanwhile, as Carroll promised, Fluker returns Wednesday, NAA. Thursday, NA. Friday, full. Game status, will play. Analysis, Precise popped onto the injury report last second with an abdomen injury that Carroll elected not to talk about on Friday. He practiced in full and isn't on the game status report, so he'll be able to play just fine it seems. But something to note going forward.